Torah Life Ministries come out of the world. Messiah people seek the truth.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and we are reading Torah portion 43, which is Numbers 33:1 to 36:13. And I am a health teacher, and I've been teaching for a long time this Torah portion, or this part from Scripture. And the reason why is because it's not only the last book of Numbers, and there's 5 books of the Torah, which is the foundation of all of Scripture, but this book here says something, a very important thing from a health standpoint that we have to understand. You see, in Exodus 15:26 it says, if you diligently keep all my statutes and commands, I will not put the same disease upon you that I put upon the Egyptians. And this had nothing to do with Egyptians. This basically was, if you're obedient to my message, this is what our Creator is telling us, you won't suffer the consequences of being disobedient as the disobedient will. And that's what it comes down to. So you're either disobedient and you're getting all these diseases and curses, or you're obedient and getting all these wonderful blessings. Now, that's not to say if you're obedient, you're going to have an easy life, because accepting Messiah and being obedient to His word will set you apart. And when you're set apart, there will be certain hardships that are different than what the world has to face. But you face them with joy because you have His word on your heart. Well, that was the instructions. If you diligently followed my guidelines and instructions, you keep all my statutes and commands, I will not put the same disease upon you that I put upon the Egyptians. And we look at that and we think about from a health standpoint, we think about how many people are suffering from diseases today and so on. Well, that brings us up to Numbers 33, which we see here in this week's Torah reading. So we're at Numbers 33, specifically 33:50. It says, while they were camped out in the Jordan River on the plains of Moab, opposite Jericho, and they were about to go into the promised land, it says, a wonderful Creator said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. And then he went on to say, when you cross the Jordan River into the land of Canaan, which is the promised land, because Abraham was there some 400 and something years prior to that, and he was a foreigner in that land, and a wonderful Creator told Abraham, this land I will give as a covenant, I will give this land to you and your descendants, and you will have many descendants. So it goes on to say in Numbers 33:52, you must drive out all the people living there. You must destroy all their carved and molten images and demolish all their pagan shrines. Take possession of the land and settle in it, because I have given it to you to occupy. And then it goes on talking about distributing the land equally among your different tribes and so on. But basically, our wonderful Creator is saying, when you get into the land, you are to set yourself apart from the unclean. You are clean, you are to remain clean, and in no circumstance can the clean and the unclean mingle together and not affect each other. And this is a problem. Yes, we could say, well, the clean can affect the unclean and maybe they could be clean. Well, more times than not, the unclean is going to affect the clean. And we are to leave no putrefaction, no rotting of the evil root inside the camp, inside the place where you dwell. And this is what he was telling the people. So he goes on to talk about how the land was going to be distributed and divided and everything else. And then we go on and we look at Numbers 33:55. And this is the warning. It says, but if you fail to drive out the people who live in the land, who remain will be like splinters in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will harass you in a land where you live. So they're saying, if you do not drive out the unclean, the disobedient, the people of the world, the people that are not set apart and holy for me, the people that don't have any desire to fill my guidelines and instructions, the people that don't have any passion for me, the heathen, the people that make abominations of my instructions, if you do not, they will become a pain for you. They will become a pain. They will harass you in the land where you live. And here it is. I am your watchman. I'm a health watchman, and I'm giving you the instructions right now and telling you how it is, and here it is. He goes on to say, and this is so important for people to understand, and I believe as well it was the message of Messiah, because Messiah taught from the Torah, and he told people, You can minister to unclean people. You can minister to unrighteous people. But you must separate and divide yourself in your dwelling from them. You cannot live with these unbelievers and expect them not to rub off on you. But even more important, he makes promises and he doesn't go back on his word. And he tells us in Numbers 33:56. Then remember, this is after saying, if you do not separate yourself, if you do not destroy all those unclean things, it goes and say, if you do not do that, I will do to you what I had planned to do to them. I will do to you what I will plan to do to them. And what was that? Well, he planned to destroy every unclean thing. He planned for them to their land to be taken away. He planned for them to suffer from diseases that they wouldn't suffer from if they were disobedient. He planned all these different things. So here he's saying, go in there, separate and divide yourself from the unclean things and destroy those unclean things. Do not mingle the seed with them. If you do, you will be blessed abundantly. But if you don't, I will destroy you. I will destroy you. And over again in the scriptures, it talks about wasting, disease, high fevers, and sickness. And that's what he talks about. That's what he went and planned to do to them. Let's go over to Psalms 106, 34 to 36, and take a look at that and see what that says. It says in Psalms 106, 34, Israel failed to destroy the nations in the land as they were commanded. Instead, they mingled among the pagans, adopted the customs, the evil customs, and they worshipped their idols, which led to their downfall. So this is what they were warned not to do, and this is exactly what they did. It goes on to say they even sacrificed to the demons their own daughters and their own sons. They actually sacrificed them. That is the danger in mingling the seed. That is why we must not defile ourselves and do that. He is warning us to help us, not to destroy us. And we have to realize that, and we have to realize the significance of sticking in the Word, because the Word is filled with these warnings and these blessings. I mean, we hear a lot about prophecy and everything else that's going on today. I mean, it's not about going to a fortune teller or anything like that, because the Scriptures warn us not to. But if you could read a book or know something, and it could tell you about the things in your life that are going to happen in the future, based on what you do, and it kind of gives you the answers before you do them, in terms of, if you're obedient to this, you will be blessed. It's not going to tell you exactly where you're going to end up or how you're going to get there, but it will tell you, if you do these things, you will die a premature death, and you will suffer tremendously, you and your children. But if you don't do that, that won't happen to you. Well, we got that book, folks. It's the Scriptures. It's the Bible. It tells us what to avoid. That's why this is the greatest health book ever written. It tells us what to avoid. Look, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Jewish person, or whatever faith you might be from, even if you're not interested in what the Bible has to say, but you are interested in your health, you don't want to suffer from disease and pain, whatever your story is, I am telling you, if you're interested in not suffering the way the world suffers today, with the things that they don't have to, we have a responsibility that creates our outcomes, and that is to take an action and follow the guidelines and instructions that are found in the Scriptures. That's it. Now, if you know that and believe that, you have no problem with that. If you've never heard that before, you might be wondering, or you might even be saying, that's not true for me. Well, all I'm telling you is, read it for yourself, and then make that decision. Don't hear about it from somebody else. Basically, don't deny it until you've tried it. Each week we go through all the Scriptures, and if you are a Christian out there and you've never read the beginning of the Scriptures, the foundation of all Scripture and what Yeshua, the one you call Jesus, Messiah, has taught from is the first 5 books. And that is the last book of Numbers. That's the 4th book. And then we're going to go into the 5th book here of what's known as the Torah. It's in every Bible. It's the first 5 books, known as Deuteronomy. That's in our next reading. So if you have any comments or questions, post them below the video. Thank you for checking us out here, and you can go to the website and see many more videos about health or even just Bible topics. Go to healthwatchman.com. Until then, everybody, have a great day, and shalom, shalom.
Torah Life Ministries come out of the world. Messiah people seek the truth.